Hello, this is Healer Terrell, the Brass Loved One. Healer Terrell 9, the Brass Loved One, here on YouTube. I'm going to do a storyline reading as far as Mr. Robert Brooks, who was killed, beaten to death by correctional officers at a Marcy facility, correctional facility in New York. He was 43 years old, a father of a son. He was currently serving a 12-year sentence for assault, it says on the internet. And he was beaten December the 9th, and he died December the 10th. So it's a video surfacing on the internet, but I didn't watch it because I don't like videos of people being murdered and beaten and things like that. So whoever watches this video might have ran across it already, but so I don't know a bunch of details. That's all I know as far as what I've read, that he was beaten to death pretty much by a group of correctional officers, and he also was handcuffed and his feet were shackled. So there's no reason for him to be being beat with his feet shackled and being handcuffed. That make no sense whatsoever. So he might have been talking, but he might have been talking and saying whatever, but still, there is no reason for him to be beaten and murdered. That's something that the prison system, policemen, they should be used to. People talking. When you run across people who drunk, they say all kind of things when they drunk, so you got to be able to tolerate that. So people in prison, I'm quite sure they holler out all kind of bad words and terrible words to the guards when they mad with them. So that's not the first time they heard somebody fuss at them or whatever he might have said. Because really, myself, I just don't know no other reason for them to beat him at all. Him being handcuffed and shackled by the feet, defenseless, helpless. He defenseless anyway because he can't fight back because he was an inmate, but still, is no excuse. Is none whatsoever. It says on the internet that it's going to be, it was going to be, because this happened December and this is January 14th, I think. So that is going to be, or was going to be, some kind of investigation, to see what happened. But if anybody looked at the video, they see what happened. He was beaten to death. That's what happened as far as that. But the reasons why, if he said this or said that or whatever, that really don't matter what he said. It really don't matter what he said. There's no excuse for him being beat by all of these people. It was no excuse for that. It was no reason. You can't even make up a reason that's gonna stand. Nobody in their right mind would say that that's right. Nobody that's in their right mind. So anybody that agree with that and say that that's right, that's satisfactory, we already know they not in their right mind. So let me just do a reading as far as Mr. Brooks' universe. Why did these officers feel it was okay to murder Mr. Brooks, to beat him to death? What was going on with these people? Were they high? Were they racist? What was going on with these people here? What was wrong with these people to have this police brutality present and feel it was okay to do just that because they could do just that, or make them feel they could do that, or whatever it was all about? To treat Mr. Brooks like he had no feelings, to treat him like a piece of trash on the floor that didn't have feelings, to beat his body lifeless. we had each one of those people who laid a hand or feet or whatever on Mr. Brooks was a monster, had a cold heart. Each one who put their hand on him, their feet on him or whatever, each person that stood around and watched it and felt it was fine to do, all of them had cold hearts. And it has to be justice. Because if anybody in the street fights somebody, fight their wife, assault their wife or whatever, they go to jail. They get punished. So the same thing has to happen for these correctional officers. It starts from the top, not from the bottom. You put the same rules on, same punishment on those people that you put on anybody in the street that get in a fight with their friend or whatever they may do and things like that. Okay, so let's just see. Okay, universe, give me some cards for Mr. Robert Brooks, who was murdered by these officers, correctional officers. It's called correctional facility. Listen to what I just said. It's called a correctional facility. But it looked like the officer needed some kind of correctional. They needed correctional, some kind of learning there, because it's about correctional, right? Correcting, right? So they need to be corrected. They need to be corrected. They need to be in there, just like the inmates that's in there, to be corrected. Okay, let's just flow. Okay, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. To those who deem it as such, you don't have to take nothing as fact that you hear me say from the cards that you're going to hear me say. I believe everything that come out in the cards, but you don't have to take nothing as fact. This channel is a God channel. This channel is about God getting justice for people who are murdered, abused, kidnapped, or whatever happened to the person. Get what I'm saying? This is about you getting what you deserve, or punishment, whatever the punishment is, through man's law or through God's spiritual law, right? However it comes, or both, right? If it's something that's man's law and you're supposed to get it in God's law, both you will get. So let's just see. That's what I'm so-called friends. So I just saw on the top the card so-called friends. And I see murdered right here. So we have, I saw so-called friends at the top. So so-called friends, I'm going to say that the person in charge, whoever in charge of the police department, they in charge of the jail, whoever that is that make the decisions, is going to hook notes, get all kind of information about the person's so-called friends. And the so-called friends with this storyline is considered the officers. Get what I just said? The correctional officers are the so-called friends of whoever it is who's going to order an investigation. The person, the warden, or whoever's in charge who give out the orders, because Mr. Robert Brooks was murdered. And the warden, or whoever that woman was, I saw on the internet who was talking. She wanted to know what happened before Mr. Brooks was murdered. So I'm going to put that card down. So she's going to, like I say, hook notes. Find out information. Okay. So I'm just wiggling my cards, okay? Bear with me. Okay, so I see the judge. So they're going to reside in front of a judge because they committed a senseless act. Where is it at? I moved it too fast. But they're going to reside in front of a judge because they committed a senseless act. So I have this card here, and this are the big boys. And they are the big boys because they are correctional officers. But Mr. Brooks was an antelope to the big boys, the correctional officers. Follow me? Okay, so let's just play a little bit. I'm trying to just get some cards here. Universe, give me some cards for this storyline for Mr. Brooks. Okay, one more. Stop. Okay, up in here somewhere. Let's see. In here. And then I have to get some from over here. These are the abuse cards. These cards is when you abuse somebody, and he was abused because it was said that he was beaten to death. Okay, you saddled him down at the fortress, and there's going to be a bunch of willing liars that took him for a joke. They're going to take the family as a joke. He was on the battlefield. He did a pretty well because you was posing as what you wasn't while he was seeking refuge. So he was in affordable housing in jail right now. That jail is considered affordable housing. He was being housed there, and you was getting paid for him being there. Get what I'm saying? You decided you weren't going to tolerate him no more for whatever reason. I don't know. You was posing as what you wasn't. And that is somebody who's supposed to make sure everything flow good. Instead, you murdered Mr. Brooks. Okay? Competition in business is cruddy. So it was cruddy. You all was cruddy at this job. Okay? So let's just go. Okay. He is there and he is vengeful. So one of you was vengeful against Mr. One main one. Had an inform one main one. Because you had a problem with him. One of you. I don't know. Okay, here's another card. He was being deceived by somebody of service, and that would be you all. Okay? But you was trying to figure out how you was going to work something out because you felt it was your prerogative because you was getting testy. Feeling a certain kind of way. Okay, let's just go. So you want to get chummy with a support group, your lawyers, your department, or whoever. Because you wanted to wash your hands on African American, and that's what you did. And that would be Mr. Brooks. Okay, you're going to be gathering up information some kind of way with a resource, and that pretty much would be a lawyer or with your police department, your correctional facility. Okay? Dealing with somebody you admire, and that would be your boss, whoever the person is, the warden, whoever control that jail. Okay? Because you might have put him on trial and asked him a bunch of questions and he ain't want to answer them or something like that, or somebody going to put you on trial and you're going to feel like they got a nerve putting you on trial, but you deserve to go on trial because you wanted full-range submission docile out of Mr. Brooks. Okay, let's go. Okay, you treated Mr. Brooks ugly as stink. You all, okay? So, Mr. Brooks needed you all to feed him. One of you, right? He was getting upset, or you was getting upset because you wanted him to do something you wanted done, whatever it might have been. Let me just try to get some points. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. You broke Mr. Brooks off like a twig on a tree. And in this storyline, it means you murdered him. Okay? He was devastated. Okay, you roped him off from time shared with the other inmates. So you took him somewhere away from everybody else. Okay, here's a card that represents what you did to him. He beat me so much. So you beat him. He is holding on. Right? It was time for you to see what was time that he saw that he was battling with you all. But God said you needed to yield for a second. Okay? You had hair different than his, whatever your race. Okay? Because you was trying to weather out a situation with Mr. Brooks. You was diverting your problems, or he was. He was jovial. Well, you need to be jovial. So this word on this card stands for school, but we're dealing with a correctional facility, so that's supposed to be where you correct people, right? That's what, so we're going to put it with this. You was antsy at the jailhouse, at the jail, okay? It was like an S shoulder because it was a carbon copy of something that happened before, so you might have beat him before, or he might have made you mad before, anything like that. He might have been mouthy, and you decided what you was going to do about it because he was mouthy. So it's a secret that he could acknowledge about one of you, one main one, or the group of you, okay? And that is a sure thing, the card says, right? We got 23. You could be 23. You could be 32, okay? One of you, okay? You was a monster to Mr. You was a monster to Mr. Brooks. And you was corny. You was going to let it be your decision. And you're just going to brush yourself off. Or you wanted him to brush yourself off. I don't know about it. Because you had back your ways of thinking that is racist or not coming up to today's time. And he got to see it. Something could have happened in September as far as Mr. Brooks, as far as one of you or all of you, where it was a stall, a delay, or something happened. A stall, a delay, a chokehold you put on him, or something. Okay? Okay? He is in a beautiful state. That would be New York, right? Dealing with a foreigner. One of you, right? But you needed to be checked because you was gambling too much. Because he had to be a realist in this thing because something's premeditated to take him to the room you took him to and to beat on him. One of you might be on the down low, gay since you was a teenager. Right? One of you. Right? It's flow. Went on a kitty cat mission. Sneaky. And aimed for it and came after came after Mr. Brooks. Might have been on the down low here. You wanted to know if you could trust him. Would he tell on you? Might have made a pass or whatever you might have did. Or all of you was just downright dirty to him. Okay? I don't know if he had a cell phone to be able to call out for help, to get help. But he was overwhelmed, nervous, or whatever was going on, or he might get high. I don't know as far as jails, what all be happening there. So he was 40. He is 43. So this card say 42 and over or 24 and over. I like you, but it won't be no romance. So one of you might have tried to make a move on Mr. Brooks. It was torment. Your story is going to be flimsy because he was wondering if he could trust whoever he is. Okay, this is for the universe. You know all about it. He pinpointed it, and he complained maybe about you trying to come on to him because you got a history of that type of stuff, maybe, right? And you made him walk into his destiny. You're a leader. You wanted those guards that talk negative talk, so you wanted to wrap it up every time, right? And just pray about that thing, right? So you wanted to make a move. One of you taking off for a joke. He might have thought something was laughable, but you need to do things in decency. So we have with the death card right here. So you decided death was going to come. You decided that death was going to come to him. Relations of anything that kills your hopes and your emotions, you was going to bring a death to. The death of anything that did not serve you and you felt he didn't serve you, because it's a mystery to all that you had all these demons, because you got a lot of demons that you needed to confront. There's one main one, but all of you did this, right? Because something come from your childhood. You could be 41 years old, or something could have happened when you was 14. Okay, let's roll in reverse. Okay, you know about it, universe. Mr. Mr. Brooks tell your story. You weren't going to postpone an active action, and that is coming after Mr. Brooks. He said he can't do it, he ain't going to do it, I won't do it, or anything like that. He might have had brown eyes, you was jacking him up, or tried to jack him up, or all of you jacked him up. Because he was going to love himself. To please your soul, you felt like he had to go there. Them complain and talk and tell on you. So his eyes was watery, seeing things in slow motion, because he was getting beat on by you all. Because one of you did something by a certain date. It was a meeting place. And the meeting place was in the infirmary or wherever you all had him at to beat on him. Okay? He was wearing certain kind of clothing, whatever it was. I don't know what he had on. So he might have been searching for a female. So if it's a nurse or something like that, he is searching for a nurse, or he might have been thinking he going to see a nurse or anything, as far as maybe he was going there to be seen by a nurse, a woman. And then when he got there, maybe it turned ugly like this or something like that, because it was a kitty cat mission. You didn't see the positives in him because he had a checkered past. Okay, what's this for? Okay, so we have, what is this one? Okay. When was you going to tell me I wouldn't have known this about you? I never would have known this about you. When was you going to tell me I wouldn't have known this about you? So some kind of way, whoever you are, you came on to him, I feel. Okay, you're a kinkster. Or some kind of way some drugs was going on at this jail. Some kind of way. Because the kinkster card is a drug dealer card, but I can take it to any leader, right? He wanted to supersize with a leader in there. If somebody do drugs or sell drugs or pass drugs or anything like that, or somebody wanted to supersize with him and flirt, anything like that. He wanted structure, but he got stung. Because he knew a secret. It was horrifying. He was trying to distinguish what was going on. So you tore him down to build you up. So if he knew a secret, okay. It was time for you to act, and you promised yourself it was time to act, or you promised him it was time to act, or anything like that. So you fought him. So all of you fought him, whatever your races are, because you insisted on a time period with him, but instead you ain't insist on a time period. You just took him there to make a time period. Because we have right here, thoughts was spinning in, wait a minute. Okay, he spent the tables around on you, and it was repercussions because he spent the tables around on you. But the problem was he was too nice to even want help, because jobs might have been slack inside that jail, or wasn't a lot of officers around, or whatever was going on here. Let's say everybody know, a group of people know whoever they are. Inmates, guards, inmates, family, neighbors. Somebody knows something. But can you really cope, or could he really cope? Because you wanted to get revenge on him. Alright, you was going to get revenge because he was a common denominator and you was also. So if you change your identity, it won't work with your twin. So if you change your identity in this storyline, this means that we got all officers. They like twins because all of them wear the same uniform. So it's saying twins, right? Or so it won't work with your twin, right? If you go gay, you go trans, or you clash, right? So if he was to let one of your officer friends know that you came on to him, it wouldn't go good for you. So he walked away because you felt he was toying with you, and he walked away from you, like, I guess, coming on saying whatever you said to him. Something could have happened on a Tuesday or whatever day of the week. Okay, you was coming to get him. Okay, so something was done on a weekend. He seen it, you saw it, or somebody else saw it, whatever it might have been. So I'm trying to get a group of cards here, but they just coming out. God bringing these cards out. God bringing them out. Okay, look with both of your eyes. What do you see? A mirror was meant to show him the truth, whatever it was for him to see. So here's the brown rabbit in the middle, and he wanted to prevail and get out of something because you wanted to keep him hidden while you shined, because you wanted him to stay being a hermit. Okay, so God told him he was educated. Don't be a fool, because he is dealing with you, a jackal, one of you policemen, one of you main ones. I don't know which one. Only you know, right? So one of you officers, one of you. Well, you was educated and you wanted him to be a fool, and he saw it, whatever it was to see, and he had to hit the power of his mind. So let's just blow. See what these cards jumping out. Okay, you wanted to scale things out for a rosy summer, winter, whatever season. So we have right here that he was intelligent, but he was trying to insult his intelligence. So let's just flow. He was knowledgeable, so he was going to put his name on a slot, a job, a lottery ticket. So he's putting his name on something guaranteed, some kind of money. So it might have been some kind of way, selling of some kind of drugs or something like that. Because I see the Kingster card. I don't see drugs around on the table, but the Kingster card really actually stands for that. So let's say it was time to act now. So you wanted to act now so we can survive, so you and your partners can survive, or act now so you and him can survive, or whatever it is. Doing something judicious, deep feelings inside. So there was some talking about it. So he was sustaining himself at a shelter, and that would be the jail. So he was unable for you to get financial gain, or you was for him, because you thought you was better than him. You was another race. So he had anxiety while you was mellow. So he went through torture and it got hyped up. So we had right here, you was trying to stitch things, sugarcoating things, right? So you didn't want to settle for less. Well, he didn't want to settle for your cheating ways, because you owe an insane apology. God said now's the time that you put that apology out there, because you was picking people in the order of black, white, short, straight, gay, or whatever you was looking for. But this is the jail system, so whatever you're looking for, whatever kind you was looking for. So something became a mountain. He wanted a peace treaty for a checkmate. Seemingly something became a mountain. Now that just came out. This came out full force. God brought that out full force. Like you playing football. God brought those cards out deep. Okay. So let's just say. Now that's what came so far. He turned the tables around on me. It's secret that he could tell. Somebody came on to him as gay on a down low, or somebody wanted to some kind of way sell drugs, give drugs, anything as far as drugs though, because the Kingster card is a drug card. I can make it another kind of card, but I don't see no other businesses in here, so I gotta focus on keeping it that way. So let's just see. Mr. Robert, tell your story. Tell your story, Mr. Brooks. It was time for you to invest and able to gain. It was nice to want to help at home, but in some cases it won't work. So with this card and this storyline just simply mean he changed his mind and he didn't want to do whatever no more as far as making money with whoever this is, right? And he's going to be simply honest with you. He didn't want to. Okay, you light up my life. So I feel like he was looking at himself as far as God, some kind of way maybe, feeling God light up his light, or some kind of way you might was lighting up his life by maybe some kind of way, being in business with him making money with you or whatever was going on. Okay, he's trying his best to escape and get out of that probably. Or trying to get out of some kind of work situation with whoever you are. Right? He really wanted to express. Okay. So he wanted to make arrangements to get out of that camp. Just to get out of some place. Okay. So we have right here, jealousy was not the best policy. Okay. So we have right here that anything is rushed that's not worth taking. So you wanted him to get in some kind of deal or whatever. But you want to value in others. Because temporarily you abuse your power with Mr. Brooks. You was chilling and you was wondering how you're going to fix things because you had intense madness against Mr. Brooks. You need to bring in the emotional love he needed. So you had flip words towards him. You wanted him to get in something with you and your friends. Right? The Wonderland of the Lost Souls. This is the correctional officers right here. It actually could be prisoners, right? Is anybody who's sinful, devilish, street, right? So this go with any of the inmates. This could be, but I gotta put it with you all because you the ones who killed him, right? So we gotta focus on you. You wanted him to do something to disrespect himself because somebody was gay in the mix, or somebody wanted him to sell drugs, anything like that. Okay, I see that. Somebody wanted him out of the mix. I see this right here. This card said, okay, what's next? So he saw what he saw. What's next, God? I see it now. So some kind of way he made a decision to change up things. So honestly, he had to fall back in love with himself. And he was working hard, or God told him to work hard on falling back in love with himself. But they rose to the occasion to beat him at his own game. Because he complained some kind of way. So I don't know if he was gonna go tell somebody or something. Okay, because so he was chained up or something, because this card say dog chained, right? Dog chained. This card say somebody dog chained him, but he wasn't dog chained. He was shackled though, right? And he was handcuffed. So we have right here that somebody used their muscle to control, and they did. They used their muscle when they had him chained. This card is accurate. Right, to use their muscle, right? So they wanted him to think about it, but he heard it before. He didn't want to do something. It's something he didn't want to do. So they fought him, right? She did it. So we might hear one of them nurses or one of them women in there who actually made it seem like he could come there, or whatever she might have did, or what she might have said, a female. So I feel it's one of the nurses. He felt help was coming, and maybe he thought one of these nurses was going to help him, or whatever this is. He had to stop thinking he deserved abuse, because he wanted to be fruitful. Going with a sinful place, and that jail was a sinful place in the winter time. He had to find other ways to make money. Okay, so what business is of you all? He needed more vitamin C. Okay, so he is adorable. He was being different. He just stood out because he was different. So somebody was power play. He was trying to find his uniqueness. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to finish this up. You know, we're trying to go from Mr. Brooks here. One of those females, one of those ladies. This is jumping my heart. He was willing to do something because of being forced. He had no other choice. So I feel like with this situation right here would be he died. If Now, I got to see some more to see what else. He died. He was taken there, or he died. He couldn't really control being taken there because he was chained up, and he couldn't really control dying because he was being beat all over. Let's see what this one. Okay, he was being, he wanted a lot. He wanted to express a lot. Okay, so we dealing with work. He wanted peace because something went too far. Okay, so we have somebody, they asked him, did he do something or will he do something? No more trying to impress, they're trying to make him do something. Or asked him, did he do something? He was a lone wolf. They looked at him as easy because he's a lone wolf. He was deserted, he was stranded, he was put in an isolated spot with no help. He needed God's bubble of protection around him to keep him safe. He needed to seek the range of God. Okay, let's just flow. Okay, I'm trying to. I'm trying to stop this. It just keeps coming up. Okay, slow, stop. Okay, here we go. He said he can't do it. Wait, let me say this right. They asked him, can he do something now? But if he didn't do it, it was going to cost him. Or God was telling him, if you do whatever this is, Mr. Brooks, it's going to cost you. Get what I just said? They asked him to do something, and if he didn't, it was going to cost him. But God told him, or if he did, it still was going to cost him in some kind of way. But God said that it was going to cost him. So we got, I see a control of, that would be for the gods, I'm quite sure, because I see right here, the can't control themselves in their own skin. That would go with the gods because they couldn't control themselves in their own skin because they beat him to death. It says control yourself in your own skin, so they couldn't control themselves in their own skin. Okay, let's just flow. At one point, he was marveling at the gate and loving it. So maybe some kind of way it might have been drugs, some kind of way was being sold or anything as far as drugs or something before. Or they was marveling at the gate and loving it. Okay? They wanted him to plant a seed, a playful energy, maybe, and give in. Right? Just pinching the surface of a thing. They wanted him to cheer on the fortune and show that he can build his future. So God was telling him if he do whatever it is, it's going to cost him. But they felt like if he didn't do it, it was going to cost him. He is going to pay the price. Anything like that. That's what it's looking like here. He is dealing with a serpent. Okay, he had to take baby steps in his thinking dealing with this serpent. So it says right here, daily life make people rethink and think of things that they need to change and seek. So they couldn't control themselves in their own skin, these officers. He might like fashion, Mr. Brooks, okay? Or one of them might like fashion. Okay, so he just wanted peace, but he was coupled off with Satan. And that was those officers. Every one of them that touched him, right? And every person that stood there and watched and didn't do nothing about it. So somebody decided to stick a fork in him. They chose to stick a fork in him and make it where they done with him. Right? That's what they did. Okay? He had a visit from an official, correct? They officers, ain't they? Right? There's more than one of them, right? Okay, he pinpointed a problem that helped him up in his life, or they felt that he helped them up. There's animalistic, controlling, dominating to him. Right? One of them, at least one of them started it. Whoever he is, name could be Roy. I don't know what his name is, right? Let's see what these names is. Okay, don't have to be that, but let's just flow a little bit. Okay, so we got number 205502. Okay, a man was going to come stand front and center and be front and center. Maybe the one who passed the first lick. I don't know who it is, right? So we hear right here, attempts to find my mother. He wanted his mother at the time he was being abused. He wanted to feel the love of his mother. Follow me? Okay. So he absorbed to see if somebody was genuine, or they absorbed to see if he was genuine, because some kind of way he might wanted to prosecute against somebody. Because here, this right here, he asking God, should I prosecute? And God says, Mr. Brooks, you are the star in the light. Knowing these people do not matter. Follow me? So he was going to prosecute and go against, because he is going to complain about whoever this is, right? Follow me? So I am simply a follower of the beliefs, his faith, religion, and his effects that left on him. And I'm going to say the rules of the jail instead of that, right? Intensity, he needed to cover his genitals. Follow me? So we have right here that somebody decided to pluck him because they felt he was a turncoat, and they was going to jump for joy and see it in a moment. So we have style is key. Either he liked style, or one of these officers was thinking about having fun. So we have right here that he was dealing with a dusty, one of these people, or they looked at him as a dusty. But they felt like he wouldn't come up to par. He wouldn't come up to what they wanted him to do. They wanted him to do whatever they wanted him to do, and he wasn't giving into it or anything like that. So we got the gun card. So they are officers, so all of them had a gun in their holster, each one of those people. So we're going to have right here that this is a gun card in my hand, though. Right, so somebody had a gun on them some kind of way, or just mean a gun was present. Okay, so they tore down his emotions, they shredded his emotions, they wounded him, and they murdered him. Follow me? So we have, whoa. Okay, with some sharp words. They switched up and had all kind of sharp words toward him. So, full body. Somebody could have been 29, or something could have happened in 1992 for him, or for one of these officers. So he was an earth angel person. He's supposed to speak to the millions on earth, but instead his story is going to speak to the millions as far as his murder. Okay, so gradually a court date going to come up some kind of way for these people to be able to go to court, get in front of a judge, right? Okay. Or he was going to make some kind of moves to go complain, where it be a court date against one main cop in this storyline, whoever he is. He walked away. He was going to do some thinking. Well, so we have, he is going to live his best life by getting healed for recovery for a brighter future, but his family would have to do that, and his son. Okay, so let's just say. So we have right here that they didn't know that he was a genius. Okay, he was in pain, or he was going to take some pain medication, or he was dealing with some kind of drugs that was going on there. Go ahead and fight for his life. He is going to fight for his life and stop running. Only he can make this happen in his life. So he was dealing with somebody who was sadistic, and we already know each one of them people was sadistic who laid a hand or a foot on him. Right? They need soul support. So somebody wanted him to collaborate and get an agreement with whoever this is, or he might have been at one point, but he got out, if anything like that. So it was some sharp words insinuated to him. He wanted sensitivity because he was a wanderer in that batch of people. He was the wanderer. He was a prisoner. Okay, something could have happened, like I said, year 92, somebody could have been 29, or whatever this is, part of somebody's number or something like that, as far as in jail, or something could happen February the 9th, or whatever this is. So we got somebody could be 38, 31, 32, 39, one of them people, or however it's going. 381 is on the card. It was a timeout, so they took him in that infirmary, wherever they had for a timeout, where they can just do what they wanted to do and abuse him. They weren't going to be sensitive to him at all. So If he wanted to be non-religious, he could be non-religious. Did he know all the facts as far as religion or just about what these people was talking about? Okay, can you still love me now? You know, so could they still like him now and they know that he wasn't going to be a part of whatever they had planned out, or once he did some telling or whatever this must have been, he could still do his God's mission. He could still do God's mission even though he did whatever wrongs he did in jail. He still could do the things God wanted him to do. His soul was crying out for a conclusion though, because he is dealing with people with symbols, logos, copyright symbols, companies. So they was cops, so they had symbols. They had their uniforms with the symbol on them. Okay, that's just funny. Somebody chuckled about this thing, thought it was funny. Okay, so somebody was going to see things clear, right? He got an epiphany. Okay, number 11. Or he saw things clear. My mistake. Whoa. Okay, so we have right here that his family got to enjoy life. The life that God continues to give them and be happy again. Or he was going to do that after some tension, right, had happened with him because he needed to see his worth and see that he was worthy, right? So we have right here number 15 or number 51. Somebody could have been 51 years old or something could have happened. The 15th, the 1st, the 5th, or whatever, the 6th. Somebody was traveling at night, maybe to get him, to take him to that infirmary to beat him up, or traveling at night, period, for some reason. Okay? It was time for him to see with full eyes, right? But whoever told him, you can't disrespect me. Okay? Whoa, shucks. Wait a minute. Bear with me. These are. Okay, I gotta see. Bear with me. Wait. Bear with me. I need to get the card. Where did I drop it at? It's important I get these cards, Lord. But where did I drop it? Bear with me. I keep saying bear with me, but I don't see the card. Very important that I had the right cards. Now, where did the card go? Okay, devil. We're going to get that card. Let me see. Oh, it might have been those. Shoot. I don't know what they was. Let me see all together. Okay. Okay, all together. Okay, I think this is it. Okay. Dang. I don't know, moving it around. I don't know what all in it. Okay, let's just flow a little bit. I had mixed them up, I forgot. Okay, let's see. What you know about it. So, somebody chose, and they chanced it. Right? So, somebody asked him something, facilitated something to him, but he shouldn't have went along with it. So, he needed to dig deep and ask himself, why? Why did he even settle? So, somebody might have attacked him. If not attacked him, let me see something. Drug addicted. So we got drug addicted. Somebody was drug addicted. So if he didn't take drugs no kind of way, or we can turn the drug addicted to something was going on with his mind some kind of way. He got attacked. So we can take it from the rape. If nothing like that happened to him, we can take it away from that and say that he was assaulted, and that means beat on, right? Or stolen from, right? His life was stolen. He was beat on. He was assaulted, or is the other way around, right? He wasn't in a car no kind of way, but we can make the jail cell, right? Because the jail cell is a place, right? Let's just go. He is going to be that runner and put his all in to make something happen, right? So something's in plain sight. He's going to be covering all his bases, because some kind of way he's going to do some talking on somebody. We got 7, 1, 17, 71. So it's not ordinary that he feel himself dying. Somebody had a psychotic break. So we have it was a relapse in a war zone. So somebody he might was taking some kind of drug or the relapse could have just been that the relapse could have just been with the police giving him problems again or something like that, if he wasn't on no kind of drug or something like that. Because a relapse for me is something repeating. Sound like the word, if you're not a person to take drugs, it just means something repeating maybe. So maybe something just repeated as far as them, I guess, or something like that, if it wasn't drugs. So look on the floor for it. So something was on the floor. So what was on the floor would be him, I feel. You know, so some kind of way he might have been praying in his mind, some kind of way. They was going to do it all together, and that was those officers that seen on video. They was laughing at the oldies. So this is something they did before. Get what the card's saying in this storyline. That means it's something they did before to somebody else. They laughing at the oldies. Oh yeah, we did this before, and they did it all together. So they gonna reside in front of a judge whenever and get all tensed up, right? Whenever. Okay, let's just go. Number 4, somebody could be 43. Okay, they're going to clarify that choosing themselves first was the best choice. But Mr. Brooks was going to clarify that choosing him first was the best choice. Because he ain't want no parts of whatever this is, whatever it is. Okay. He just was going to say it. He had hidden feelings, and he just was going to say it because a lot of money was spent or bills was charged up, piled up, or debt or tab or whatever's going on here. Okay, so we got the door card. So it's a sinful place. Okay, so something was in his glass. Something was behind the glass door. Somebody was hiding somewhere. Something was on the cell phone. Something was on the windowsill. Anything as far as glass. So he was dealing with being inside the correctional facility. So some kind of way, some glass doors in there, and somebody was behind there maybe. Or something's in a glass, or whatever this is God talking about with this card in his storyline. So let's just see. Can't see my cards. Oh yeah, he's gonna get a pocket full at the fairground. So some kind of way, he might have been making money some kind of way, with these cops, or some kind of way, or they was making money. See, because it says they was looking at him as their good fortune. Is you my good fortune? Follow me. So yeah, he decided he didn't want to be part of it, or they're trying to make him be part of it, or anything like that. So that's what I'm getting. Right, so okay, I'll be right back. Let me see how much time I have.